What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank, and today I'm coming to you as a Pan-African black YouTube fan, right? Because as a black Pan-African pro-black YouTube fan, I got some questions for these pro-black people that have been on the internet for a very long time, you know, pumping out this pro-black Pan-African effort, right? You know, and first I want to start off one of the OGs, Dr. Umar Johnson, right? Y'all have never really heard me speak on Dr. Umar Johnson ever, really, you know, but most black folks have spoke on Dr. Umar Johnson. I agree with almost all of what Dr. Umar Johnson has to say, right? I believe Dr. Umar Johnson is, in his own words, the prince of Pan-Africanism, right? I believe he's a necessary voice, and he does contribute to the mental construction that we need to undertake as black people, right? And I think that he has a lane when it comes to showing unapologetic heterosexual black pride and testosterone and ego. Like, we need that, right? But as a observing Pan-African subscriber and fan of Dr. Umar Johnson, I myself is wondering, where the hell is this school, right? When is this school gonna open up? Now, a lot of people say it's a scam. A lot of people, you know, but a lot of people who say it's a scam, they don't know the first thing about opening up a school, right? That's the thing about it. And I understand Dr. Umar Johnson's resolve is he wants to pay for everything himself, you know, which is very hard to do, especially with his ideology. I don't see any institution making any process smooth for him at all, right? So, you know, he's been working on this project for years. It's his pet project, so I don't judge him for not having it done per se, as it's not like I put into it, so I'm like, all right, I'm an invested shareholder, so I'm putting into it, right? Now, as far as how he collects his money, you know, he's always available, he always speaks, you know, he's always doing something for his money, right? So I don't think he's a scammer per se. I believe that his strategy, to me, his strategy is somewhat flawed, right? Because as the prince of Pan-Africanism, right? As someone who's clearly and highly intelligent, right? Strategically, if I was him, what I would have did, now he's his own man, what I would have did is I would have went to Africa, right? Where I know I can set up these institutions without having the oppressor, you know, put their thumb, you know, on the scale. If I was him, I would have went to Nigeria, Ghana, some country in West Africa, Prince Pan-African. That's what I would have did. I would have established my school over there, show proof of concept, right? Then with that, I would have used that as my advertisement, my show proof of concept that, hey, this is a Frederick Douglass school for boys. This is how I operated. This is the curriculum. This is what it looks like when I'm able to do it over here. I want to bring this to America and to the black communities and do it there. And you would have a framework. That's what I would have did. Because as far as I'm concerned, with what I know from me being in Nigeria and building and doing what I'm doing, I know that if I had the intelligence of Dr. Umar Johnson and the resources he had, I would have had 10 schools in Nigeria right now on full display, showing the power of black people controlling their educational system, period. Then I would have been able to talk all the trash I want, and I would have been able to brought my school to America to show and prove, or I could have had some sort of remote or use some sort of remote feature to incorporate African Americans and African American children into that all boys school. That's what I would have did. But he's going a different route. That's his project. But my jury's out until he says he's no longer doing it. Then I'm not. You know, then the jury's out. But I believe he is a true Pan-African in all sense of the word. People don't like his personal stuff, but guess what? People judging his personal stuff do exactly the same personal shit in their own lives, right? Just that they're not standing on stage, you know, being judged or speaking truth to power, right? So he who has no sin casts the first stone when it comes to that, all right? Then you got the other little smaller ones, right? Well, you got Tariq Nasheed, right? The former Pan-African who's kind of grifted his way into doing all sorts of things for his own personal gain. What has he contributed? He has made some DVDs that did open the eyes of some people. Now, was he really the author of these DVDs? Could anybody nowadays, that DVD that you saw, Hidden Colors, Could a YouTuber make that video now? Yes. Tariq Nasheed was a YouTuber before YouTube, right? So he caught on to the wave. He was C-list celebrity trying to make his way up. Didn't quite get to the mountaintop, but he did get on some really high hills. He's found a few grifts within his network, but people like him. He's funny. The dude, he reminds me of a 90s comic. He has a 90s style about him. You know, there's people who are interested in him. He has contributed to the conversation, even though he has, as of late, added to the xenophobia, even though he's not serious. That's the thing about it. I know he's not serious. He knows he's not. He's playing part to a demographic that are not as he's playing to the demographic that could probably tell you all the stats of an NBA team and can probably read word for word every episode of Martin, line for line. All right, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But outside of sports and comedic black entertainment and other little hip-hop dramas, they're not interested in other things. He caters to that crowd, right? But what does he actually contribute to the black community? Nothing. He only contributes to himself. What about the BAIO, right? And I think we all started to hear that with Kali Genesis, right? A black Republican firebrand YouTuber who comes on YouTube talking that pro-black nationalist stuff, right? You know, he's really just a hidden right-wing black nationalist American conservative who kind of likes to talk about Africa. He likes Africa. He would like to have the power of the white imperial white man, but he would like the black man to have it, right? But he's more of he got a dictatorial, he wants to be like a dictator, right? You can tell his whole aura says, I want to be a dictator, I'm in charge, I'm in control. But the thing is with the BAIO, like I posted a video yesterday about it. He was a part of the BAIO, but he wasn't. I don't want to mess up with BAIO. So if you are familiar with BAIO, and I think I'm saying it right, please correct me and tell me what BAIO is in the comment section so people can know what that is. Because there is a real BAIO movement, right? Back to Africa, black nationhood. But Kali Genesis, who was once a part of this organization, has stolen the logo, stolen everything, and ran off, started doing his own thing. But he really has nothing to do with the real BAIO. But him, like a lot of pseudo-black nationalists, black Pan-African pro-blacks, they pretend to be Pan-African and they steal other people's identities and other movements' identities to cater towards their own actual personal right-wing nationalist white agenda. All right, for real, right? Then so he's like a white nationalist in disguise, Kali Genesis. That's why you see who he congregates with. He congregates with people like Pan-African Strikes Back, who's also a black American Strike Back national. He's a Pan-American. He's a pro-white, pro-American, pro-capitalistic. Pan-African Strikes Back via Brandon, aka Bucci Bear. He caters towards whiteness. He loves white America. He wants white America to feel safe. That even though he's a Pan-African, but he's not any danger to them because he wants them to feel comfortable. That's a part of that that white conservative Republican. They've basically sold out to the greater culture of race pride, race black first, and they've capitulated to the national identity of America, and they view as America as their primary identifier as black people, and they figure if they just be as American, if they can be more and more and more and more American, maybe white people will accept them one day and give them respect at the table. That's their hope. That's their calculus. But in history, it's never happened, right? So you got Brandon, right? What does he tell you? He talks about his OAP, right? But for all the years of OAP that he bought 100 acres of land, and what I know as I'm talking from a subscriber now. From what I know as a builder in Africa, and I'm in Nigeria, he's in Kenya, I know that the price differences are not going to be that too far off, right? So I know if a person has the financial capability of buying 100 acres of land, right? Personally, they have the money to also do something with that land, right? So if you buy 100 acres of land, you or a group, you guys should be buying that with intentions on doing something with it. Because I remember there was a video where Brandon said he actually kicked people who were living on his land, the land that he purchased, supposedly. The land he purchased in Kenya, he kicked people off who were living on the land. So there were people from Kenya who were living on that land, and he, as an African American and his group, kicked off people who were living on that land so that they can purchase that land, right? But yet still hasn't done anything with the land they kicked those people off of for, right? That is a colonizing action. Because if you're gonna buy 100 acres of land, you need to develop it or you're wasting time. It's just a, I look good project. Ooh, I got land project. What are you doing with the land? I remember in some videos he was supposed to be going to Kenya to build a security shack. I happen to know that security shack shouldn't cost that much to build. You're talking about some concrete, some sand. So where is the security shack? What is happening on the land in Kenya? What has been developed? What happened to the orange field? Where's the development of the orange field? So if you're going to be a Pan-African and you're going to scrutinize people for not, when you say, what have you done? When you use the tool, what have you done? What have you done for your people? What have you done as far as business? What have you done as far as Pan-Africanism? Before you judge and talk about what other people are doing, what are you doing? Show and tell. So what is Brandon doing in Kenya as a supposed business owner on 100 acres of land that would give him a footing to talk about anybody else's project? What is he doing? He should show and tell. Has he planted any grapes? I mean, has he planted any oranges? Has his group planted any oranges? And then the bigger, JT the bigger figure, right? JT the bigger figure, he was in Kenya, and a few other people went to Kenya, and come to find out, you actually can't buy land in Kenya. Right? Somebody in Kenya has to own the land. So it's not like Nigeria, like I own my land. I'm a real land owner as me, filed by the court in Nigeria. I own the land. In Kenya, as an African American, you can't just go and buy land. You can't just own land. Somebody else has to own the land. I don't think you really own it. So Brandon hasn't been 100% clear in the the PAO, well, I forgot what you call this thing. And people in Kenya purchasing land or doing things in Kenya not being 100% clear about the real process. They're not being truthful. There's no African American, probably there's no real, I mean, I can't say that, but I don't think that Brandon owns 100 acres of land. I think that he's a part of a group that group that owns via a native individual that owns 100 acres of land. Because if you got money for 100 acres of land in Kenya or any place in Africa, you are not begging for super chats on the internet. You're not. You got it like that, right? You're not saying you need money for this. You're not trying to crowdfund your plane ticket to Kenya. You're not crowdfunding your plane ticket to Africa if you're a true business owner in Africa. You're funding it yourself, right? So that gets me to question these people who call themselves Pan-African, and they use these projects as something that they're standing on. Well, talk about your project. Where are you in your project? That's why I make it a point to show you my projects, to show you, and it doesn't even have to be, oh, my project's bigger than yours, your project's bigger than mine, because look, I ain't shit. I'll be the first one to tell you ain't shit, and what I'm doing ain't shit, right? That's just me. But I know, you know, and that's how I carry it. I'm real humble about it, because there's African Americans in Nigeria doing some amazing ass shit. I'm telling you, like there's some upper income African Americans, some middle class African Americans in Nigeria building industry. I'm telling you, real quiet. I'm telling you, they're all over Africa. They're not on social media because they don't got time. Everybody's not on social media. Social media only represents less than 1% of the population. Any video you see on social media represents less than 1% of a thought of that said population for the most part, right? So, and then we got Dynas Tamir, right? He's in Nigeria, right? He has a, he's actually, at least you can see him doing something, right? You can see Dynas, he's always on tour. You can look at his page, despite whatever you think about Dynas Tamir, right? Whether you don't believe like his politics, whatever, you can see Dynas Tamir doing the thing he said he was doing, right? You see him always on tour. You see him always in these countries, you know, I wish he would make more videos, because I would think they would have stepped his video game advertisement up a little bit more, because he's always out and about. So I just feel like he should have, by now he should have a crew, right? He should be on Water Maya status and all these, because I see a lot of other travel vloggers their shit done, their quality done went up, you know, and they're 100,000 plus. So I think Dynas, to have 100,000 subscribers, I believe he should be at a higher level as far as his visuals. But I mean, he doing his thing. You can't say he ain't doing his thing, and it's working, right? And you got Maximum Impact. He's doing his thing. He shows and tells, you see him doing his thing. And you got, at least you got some, whether you agree with their politics, you agree with their method, they're literally showing you what they're doing. So you can say, well, shit, I don't like what he said on that last live, but you know what? That motherfucker over there doing some shit though, so I gotta give him respect. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. But then we got a lot of people who saying, like, American First Rifleman, right? He's one of Brandon's premier sidekick guests on his show. He always says he's going to Africa. You know, he always holds himself to a high esteem, like he's better than the rest of the Black America. But how come he ain't took his high self-esteem ass to Africa yet? Why he talking all this shit about Pan-Africanism, about pro-black, and how you gonna go to Africa get him a woman? Why haven't he got on the plane and went, American First Rifleman, get your ass on the plane and go, and stop talking shit to everybody else who's at least doing something. Until you start doing something, you know, nobody's ever gonna take you seriously, right? You stay over there in western part of America where ain't nothing but white folk, all right, and live in that white euphoria you live in as the token black guy with the big ass mustache, all right? That's what you are. I know a lot of people like him, right? They live with white folks, they act like white folks to survive around white folks. That's just what they gotta do, and that's what he does. But he ain't jumped to Africa yet, because he go to Africa, he gonna cut that fucking mustache off. I'm telling you, you gonna see that motherfucker with a goatee. Yeah, he gonna change his name from America's First Rifleman to something else, trust me, right, when he step on foot on Africa, right? But he need to do that. So there's a lot of these pro-black so-called Pan-Africans that got a lot of judgment, right? They got a lot of judgment, but what are they doing themselves? What are they doing? Because we're all watching, and I'm watching a lot of these pro-blacks fall off. Right? I see their views are going down. They're not getting much engagement because after some while, people get tired of you talking shit, man. You can only talk shit, hold people accountable for so long until it's like, all right, dog, you talking all that shit. Now what? Now what? Right? Okay, you done told me what the issue is. What's the solution? What are you doing to solve the problem? Show me how to do it instead of talking shit. Right? Because conversations are supposed to evolve. And a lot of these people are having the same conversations, literally using the same words, same talking points, same tropes, same stereotypes, have not improved their lexicon, hasn't added any new words to their library of words that they use to express themselves, and it's sounding like the same broken, tired, lame ass record over and over and over and over again. Even a hit song, you get tired of hearing that shit after a while. So it makes you think people want to hear people just talking shit and being negative and judging people like they the Jesus or some shit like that, and they have not shown and proved anything. Right? Like me, I'm showing and proving so that I can have space to talk. If I wasn't doing shit, I would keep my mouth shut about certain shit because I wouldn't have no space to talk. But because I have qualified myself in life, that's when I talk. I only talk about stuff that I've done, doing, have expertise in. I only talk about that shit. Like, if you were to meet me in real life, here's the funny thing. When people, because I run into people who watch me on YouTube, right? And if you were to meet me in real life, you would realize that I talk this way. This is how I talk. Same energy, same passion, same words, same lane. Like if you was my homie and we was in a car together and I would be talking to you. Every one of my YouTube videos is just me talking regular. That's why I do it so naturally. If you ever run into anybody that ever said in life that they met me, that they know me, I 100% guarantee you they will tell you that the person that they see on YouTube is the person that they see in real life. 100% energy and everything. I don't care if you 6'7", 400-pound muscle. I'ma talk to you with the same energy that I'm talking to you right now, because I put your big 6 foot full muscle ass on the ground and I put you to sleep, and you'll never know what happened. Because I ain't scared of nothing. I got technique, I got skill, I'm a trained kid. Like, none of that shit intimidates me, right? But I'm also know that I'm a human being, and if it's like two of you, you know, 6'8" mofos, and one of y'all trained like MMA and the other one box, I'm gonna hit y'all motherfuckers with a pipe or something. I'm gonna get you. All right, but I ain't stupid. I'm letting you know. I may act soft so I can come back the next day and pop you in the back of your goddamn head and shit with a 3-liter soda bottle from Save-A-Lot. But you know, besides that, you know, I'm be street, but I ain't dumb. But I'm gonna get you. But I can speak with the same energy. Straight up. That's me. Now, a lot of these ones on YouTube, you wonder if they talk like that in real life. You think they got the same energy they be having on these panels if those people were standing in front of them in a square, you know? Because in England and America, there's certain places where people, they do all that panel talk in real life. They do it in your face. There's places where you go where people come and they stand on their soapbox. They stand on their soapbox and they say what they got to say in front of people, fully prepared to deal with any consequences of for the actions or the words that come out their mouth. They ready to deal with it. It's much different when you're prepared to deal with the consequences in real time, physically, you know, when it comes to the things that you say out your mouth. Are you about that life for real or are you not? Are you willing to go down on your shield or are you not? You know what I'm saying? You know, so the internet makes a lot of brave people, a lot of people who pretend they want to fake it until they make it. Like, faking it until you make it seems to be like the standard issue mode of operation for all people on the internet. But me, I make it, right? And if I ain't make it, I ain't make it yet. I'll refuse to fake it. Because if you fake it, then you're sending a false narrative to all the people you want to follow you. You want people to like for me, for instance, I want people to be regular like me, to be like, damn, if his regular ass can do it, my ass can do it. That's the sentiment I'm trying to create. Not, oh damn, I guess I gotta be some sort of spectacular, omnipotent, in the right place at the right time with the right everything and this super hustle motivated mentality. I gotta have all this extra shit that a lot of these people on YouTube are presenting, right? But they're really not about that. They're just presenting it. They're gonna fake it. Just like Fresh and Fit, they fade it until they made it. They faked it until they made it, right? And then when they make it, come to find out they was fake the whole time, right? So that's just not me. But anyway, this is just me, you know, as a Pan-African pro-black subscriber to other black people channel, as an observer, observing some Pan-Africans and pro-blacks and black nationalists doing what they say they're gonna do, showing and telling, showing that they can do the things that they're telling you can do, right? And judging you based off what it is that they've done. They have a platform to be able to judge or to critique other people. And then you got the ones that's just faking it. They faking it and they ain't never gonna make it. And I know a lot of them who ain't never gonna make it, even though some of them think they are. Anyway, tell me what you think about this in the comment section. Do y'all feel the same way I feel? Y'all been watching like me, right? We all watch the same shit. YouTube is massive. It's like an ocean. But BlackTubeTube is like this big. So we all kind of know each other. I know y'all feeling the same way I'm feeling. Same tired old, boring ass, hating ass, miserable ass people sitting in their house in their living rooms, running their mouth for 2, 3, 4 hours because they ain't got shit to contribute to society other than their judgment. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comment sections. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.